What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. What's up, guys? I'm David.
I'm Landon.
He's Landon.
I'm Landon.
And it's Monday.
It is a Monday, a long Monday.
Hey, you telling me. It started out exciting for y'all, I guess.
Yeah. Woke me up.
Woke you up.
Woke me up.
I'll tell them what happened.
I got hit by or my mother is probably listening to this, so don't get too mad at me. Rammed into a deer trying to get us to school this morning and broke the left side of her, like, front
Had the
bumper.
bumper, the grill, radiator support, and headlight.
Yeah.
The headlight still works, but the cover's gone off of it.
Yeah. She has a knack to be a magnet for animals.
I'm just going to put a sticker across the front of her car and just name it Killer.
Beware of the
I
Kayla
don't know
Killer.
if it killed the deer.
I don't think it did.
I think it just knocked it for a loop.
Oh, yeah. I saw it, like, fall to the ground and just get back up, start running. It almost ran the wrong way, though.
The wrong way.
Yeah,
What's the wrong
it was
way?
about to run back into the car before it turned around.
Well, it would have stopped again, I guess. Anyway, how's school?
It's all right. I mean, the days are going short. Classes short. Got to make up or I'm doing review tomorrow. Test Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So, it's going to be long. Not too long, bro, though, because I'm really smart.
No, geez. Freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
How's that changed for you?
You know, y'all said that I would be able to choose if I got shorter or, like, I got to get up later. I had to be at school later, but I can go to classes end later also.
A little bit.
Yeah, they do start later and end later, but doesn't mean I don't have to still wake up at butt crack of dawn.
Well, guess what? You better get used to it because that's the rest of life. I leave before y'all most mornings.
Well, sometimes. Not
Most.
anymore, though, because Jackson's not going, or Jackson will be going to school now.
Oh, he went today.
Yeah. Kept saying no, so.
He didn't want to go.
No. Did not.
He today was Jackson's first day back from his tonsillectomy.
Yeah.
He was out for about a week and a half, but he's seemingly good to go now. He just wants chicken nuggets and pizza all the time again, so that's how we know he's good to go, because he wants all the regular foods and all that stuff. It's cold. It's been cold.
It's just a little bit cold, you know, only in the 20s.
Well, it's finally, I think tonight we're not supposed to get in the 20s, finally.
30s.
Yeah. But it was down to the teens here last couple nights, which is, anybody outside of South Carolina, teens in South Carolina is highly unusual. That's way too cold for us around here. We don't know how to function. Fortunately, we didn't get any moisture with that, any kind of snow or ice or nothing like that. So that was good. If it's going to be cold, we don't need that around here. We don't know how to function with it. If we get it, we just stay home.
Yeah.
You'd have been all right with that, wouldn't you?
I would have. Another e-learning day? Amazing.
I hate e-learning days.
Well, I love it. It's just so amazing. You get to sit back at home. None of my teachers require any cameras on you, so.
You can do school in your underwear.
Yeah, honestly. As long as you have a shirt, you know, if they do ask, can I see y'all's cameras? But other than that, they're pretty good.
Does it say shirts required?
They say make sure you dress appropriately.
No.
I mean, they're only going to see like that, so like.
Oh, well. So what else been up?
Nothing much. Just chilling, really.
Chilling. Chilling.
I'd be chilling. Call of Duty. Call of Duty's pretty good. Warzone 2.0 or
Landon
Warzone
has
3.
gotten into Call of Duty now. He's kind of later than everybody else on Call of Duty.
I've been Warzone 1. I played Call of Duty Black Ops 3, 2, and 1.
I'm not a Call of Duty player.
Well, yeah, because you're always steering.
Exactly. I can't do the gaming like that. It's my eyes don't work that fast.
Well, I've played all the Warzones now. I'm pretty good at it. My friend Bradley's taught me how to play, so.
Is he good?
Oh, yeah, he's a max level you can get. He'd probably be like 500 by now, but it caps out at 250.
That means he plays way too much.
Well, other than like, he gets off a good bit, but when he gets on, it's difficult for him to get off because he likes it so much. You know, but it's also difficult for me though because it's fun.
Cool, I guess. I reckon. So, if anybody don't know, Landon is my spotter.
Yes,
and cruise on the car a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I do what I can. Y'all aren't really doing anything massive. Y'all are just, changing it from loose and
He don't
tight.
really come work in the shop too much.
Yeah. No. I don't know. I'm organizing for y'all.
We're still waiting on you to finish that.
Okay, well, Sunday passed by. I didn't even know we weren't coming here on Sunday. So, things happen. Life
happens.
Yes, life happens.
I hear you. So Landon spots for me. He had never spotted before until he's in his third season now, I guess.
Am I?
Yeah,
My
we
third
started 2021. We started 2022. We raced 2023. We're going into 2024.
Yeah. I was 11? 12?
Yeah, you were 12, I think, when you started.
How time flies.
I reckon. So, tell us about, since you're here.
Oh, no.
Because Landon actually, surprisingly with anybody around me, Landon wasn't, he watches racing, but he was not into racing as much. So how did it go on from not really being into racing to spotting and having to learn kind of what to do there?
Yeah, you said you needed a spotter, right? So I was like, I'll try it. And now it's a little complicated or difficult when I'm trying to focus on your car and there's other cars around. Cautions. Have a bad tendency to not say caution sometimes. I just say stop. But other than that,
I'm fine with whatever. I mean, I'd rather you say caution, but I'm fine with just some sort of warning.
But how about you talk about how your curse is that a wreck always happens in front of you?
I don't know why that happens, but it does. They always tend to happen right in front of me.
Always.
So what was learning to spot a little bit that you do? You're still learning.
Yeah.
What's been probably the most difficult part about it so far?
Messing up on inside and out because it's such a good thing. And from my perspective, I'm like inside and they're really outside. So you go up and I'm like, wait, no, they're inside. And it's pretty difficult sometimes. A mistake like that could lead to a wreck. So
yeah, it can. It can. It definitely can. What is hard about that?
I don't know. I mix it up because if you're seeing cars going, I tend to think that like left would be inside.
Left is inside.
Well, yeah, but from my point of view, right's inside when they go. So it's normally at the start when they go green. I'm always like inside, wait, outside, and I kind of mess up. So
we have the same point of view on the start, on the front straightaway. We have opposite point of view on the back straightaway.
Yeah, I don't mess that up.
which is backwards.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
So what we figured out is Landon doesn't know his left from right.
I don't know.
At 14 years old, he does not know left from right.
It's pretty difficult sometimes.
So, here in, 2 months? 2 months and a few days, you'll be turning 15.
Yes, I will. I will be turning 15. And I can finally get my permit.
That's what I was going to ask. Is that something you actually are looking forward to?
Yeah. I can't wait to go drive around with an adult supervisor right beside me. Maybe I could...
See, I don't think y'all... That was... When I was younger, that was our biggest thing in the world. When we were getting closer and closer, it was just we couldn't wait to get our license. Couldn't wait. I don't hear kids your age even like talk about it anymore.
Whoa.
It's like, and there's a lot of kids that are your age or even older that don't care to. I mean, and that's fine. I mean, they just don't care to. And I mean, it's just different time, I guess. Do you know a bunch of them that are older than you? That
Jaden, he's older.
Yeah, but
than me.
he got his.
Yeah, and he's excited for his driver's license.
Yeah, I mean he is. I'm saying, do you know him that don't really care? Seems like
no. Everybody wants to go drive around.
Okay, well that's good to know. I guess.
I want to.
I'm scared for you to drive around.
Why?
Everybody's scared for you to drive around.
Who would be scared for me to drive around? I'm very cautious, very observant.
Oh yeah, you're observant.
I'm very
to a lot of things.
Yeah.
You observe a lot of things.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb.
Wondering, and yeah, you'll be out looking at limbs and stuff like that.
But if Mama does hear this, don't tell them. Okay, don't tell them. Okay, but Mama, she's terrible to drive with. I was going down our road on the car, and one slight little left or right, and she's trying to grab the steering wheel. It's crazy.
Probably needed to. Because you don't know where you're going. That's always been your thing.
I have no idea where I'm going.
Well, it's not that you don't know where you're going. It's like you'll hold a steering wheel, and if you think the steering wheel's straight, just like you think the car's supposed to be going straight, and you don't need to turn the steering wheel.
I don't need to.
That's going not how straight. It works. That's not straight. How it works.
No need to go. If it's going straight, why mess up something that's doing what it's supposed to?
But then it starts going not straight, but you're like, well, the steering wheel was straight.
Then you just turn it.
But you don't.
I've only been on straight paths, though, so you can't really blame me. It's either that or I stop, sharp turn, and then go.
Oh. Well, I don't know. So, all right. So since we're talking about you driving, and we're talking about this because we ain't got a whole lot of racing going on right now.
Yeah.
And plus, Connor wasn't here tonight. He had a, see, Landon, squirrel. See?
Oh my goodness, really?
Connor wasn't here tonight. He had had a bunch of schoolwork to do, which schoolwork comes first.
Okay, I was out for 2 days. I can't help that.
Oh, schoolwork comes definitely first. So.
Oh yeah.
So he'll be back. Connor's got a bunch of college classes already. He's doing dual credit enrollment and stuff, and so he got a good load on him coming up the final part of his senior year. So definitely got to get that done. Oh, it's gonna be something. Definitely gonna be something for him. Yeah. So since talking about driving, all right. I know what you're probably going to get to begin with.
I think I do too.
Okay, well, whatever. But if you had to pick and got to pick, what would you want as a car?
Okay, this is pretty simple.
I'm not going to say first car because you're not going to get it as your first car.
Oh, yeah. I got to work up to my dream car. I got to pay for my own dream car.
As everybody does.
Well, it's going to be a Camaro, 2018 Camaro, okay, with garnet color, black stripes going
2018?
down. Yeah, right? I think so.
No, I'm just saying that's what.
I think it was 2018 Camaro.
Oh, you want the same car Uncle Sterling had?
Yeah, that looks so nice. I really want that.
I think that sounds about right. I think that's about what color.
2018 Chevy Camaro. Oh, that's garnet color with black stripes. That looks so nice.
That was a 2SS.
2SS? Oh yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. But I want to pay for it, so it's like actually mine.
Well, you better get a good job. That's all I can do. You better get a good job. Speaking of job, not that you're anywhere close to it yet, but
hey, I'm 15. I can work at Chick-fil-A. Okay.
is that what you're gonna do?
Oh yeah, free Chick-fil-A sandwiches, fries, and I get paid. Boom, Jesus' chicken right there.
It is. You don't work on Sundays.
Yeah,
ever.
I'm off Sundays, so that's going to be an amazing job. I just need someone to drive me there.
When can you? I know you might have studied, or have you studied anything yet for a driver's test? No. We'll go with no. How long? I know Jaden probably told you. How long you got to keep your permit now before you can get your regular driver's
6
license? 6 months.
Yeah.
So at 15 and a half, you can get your day license.
Yeah, my day license. And then after 16, I think you have to wait 6 months, right?
Yeah, when you turn 16, you get your full license.
Yeah. Well, once I get my full license,
Yeah, full what it's going to be for anybody who gives it to you.
A full license, my actual driver's license, me, Jaden, and Bradley are going to start going to the gym regularly, and we're going to get big and strong. Bradley already has experience, so he can help us. Yeah. And then when me and Jaden are already talking about when we graduate from high school, but before we go to college, which we will go to college, we want to go on this trail. It's a Christian trail, and it goes from down low in the States to up in the States. It's a really long trail, and they have like stops for you. I forgot what it was called, but it's gonna be but you walk it, and you let God provide you. And then on the side stuff, there is water stops, food stops, just for people who are doing it.
No.
And if you go the full way, boom. It's I forgot how many miles it was, but it's really long. We talked about it. And I said I'd do it. So, haven't forgotten.
You would?
Yeah, I would.
You would walk?
Yeah.
States long?
Yeah, states long.
I mean, however long this is.
Yeah. Y'all are going to be so excited when you see me again. Won't you? When I go on it.
And
Okay.
when are you planning this?
After we graduate from high school.
Oh.
Right before we go to college, we're going to do it.
Such big plans.
Yeah.
So as of right now, what do you want to go to college for?
I haven't decided, but my cousin Faith told me, what's up? But Faith told me that you can look to what you want to do, but you don't have to really take classes for what you want to do in high school. It may help, but you don't have to because the college will teach you. Because I'm trying to look.
You gotta have a direction.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Go.
It was coding, which I am working on the coding thing big for you right now for your website, and haven't told you about this.
Oh,
but I'm not sure about coding because it just seems really I feel like when I was taking the class, I actually wanted to, but now it's just I don't know. It's just I don't know. I can't find a word for it.
all right. Well, let's get to some racing. Let's go to the phone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the phone, we got a man that is a two-time champion over there at Florence Motor Speedway in the Thunder and Lightning division. Mr. Sam Knight, what's going on, man?
Not too much, man. Glad to be with you tonight. I appreciate you having me on.
We appreciate you coming on with us, buddy. We unfortunately, we got a whole lot of racing to talk about. I mean, other, what you got going on. So we appreciate you getting on here with us and hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, I can remember when racing season used to be a season, but it seems like it just kind of overlaps nowadays.
It's only a few weeks we get off. That's pretty much it. I was talking about the other day, and we were talking about that same thing. I was like, man, we should get a few months. I was like, now it seems like you pretty much take Christmas off, and then you're right back at it.
That's right. We got my son. We getting him ready for a little Crown Vic race down in Screven. So that's
nice.
This next weekend, so it don't stop.
Man, that's real quick. Since you brought that up, that is a class that I really wish, personally, would come around. And it's really made its way on the dirt side. I wish it kind of bring its way over to the asphalt side a little bit because, man, those cars are kind of a dime a dozen anymore, and you can go in there and fix them up. It's racing, so it's not cheap, but cheaper than some other things. And man, they put on some good fun racing.
Yeah, we're really new to this. This will be our first time with it. I got a car from a buddy of mine, Gene Vaughn, and his family, and so we're going to go play in it. But I see down in Florida, they are starting to get very popular on the asphalt tracks down there. I know Pensacola runs them and Five Flags, so
yeah,
it's just a matter of time before they start creeping up this way.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I know. I know even Sumter runs them things over there on the dirt. Y'all gonna run over there with that some this year?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're going to see how Screven goes, and then if he likes it and it stands up to it, then we'll definitely run some races over there at Sumter.
Cool. Well, we'll have to get him on here and talk about it once he starts with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a new adventure for sure.
That's what I'm talking about. Fun stuff. So let's talk about your racing a little bit, Mr. Sam. Tell us. Well, first of all, before we get into it too much, let everybody know kind of who you are, what you drive, what you do, all that fun stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Sam Knight. I live in Ridgeville, but I come from Knightsville, South Carolina. Nobody probably knows where that is, but it's the home of the Somerville Speedway.
That's right.
I grew up about a mile and a half from Somerville and was raised there. Every Saturday night it was open, we was there. My dad, my grandfather all raced, and so it was in my blood at an early year, and enjoyed that time there. So got away from it for a long time, but now I'm a youth pastor. Been in ministry now for 16 years, and God called me. I got saved in 97, and God called me to preach, and put me in the same church I got saved in. I've been serving there for 16 years now.
Man, that's awesome. That is awesome. We can definitely appreciate that. I actually, I don't want to say it too much on here, but I actually, I play and sing at our church, and we have I love it. I've been involved in all kinds of stuff. I've been involved in the youth ministries at certain churches, and now I've been into music myself. So man, that's great. I love it when because it's such a, yourself, between the world of, I guess, being in church and being at a racetrack sometimes can be two completely different things. But
yes.
But sometimes we gotta bring a little church to the track.
Yeah, we try, but we're men just like everybody else, and
that's
we
right.
all, everybody's trying to do their best, and that's all we can do. So, but yeah, we try to bring that glory of God everywhere we go.
That is absolutely right, man. And I was telling Landon that I quizzed Landon here. Let's see if he can do this. I told him your car number was 1 John 1:9. So let's see if he can do it.
Okay. So
he was at our church school last year. So let's see if he can do this.
All right, little Bible drill for him.
There we go, Bible drill.
Okay, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us of all unrighteousness.
There it is, buddy. You nailed it.
You did pretty good.
Job. Even if you can't turn left to drive, you do good. Just drive.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm assuming that is one of your favorite Bible verses.
It is, yes, sir. It is one I live by every day.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's one we all need to live by every day. So, so tell us a little bit. How'd you get into racing?
Well, I'll go back a little bit. Like I said, I was raised in it. My father raced, my grandfather. My grandfather died when I was an early young man, so I didn't get to know too much about him, but saw pictures and things. My dad raced. My uncle built race cars. He never wanted to drive them, but he built them, and so I was raised around it. Well, about the early 90s, my dad basically just quit and gave it up, sold everything, and we never went to another racetrack. So I stayed away from the racetrack from the early 90s up until COVID. Now, I started racing online probably in, I guess, 2002 with the first NASCAR one. Well, there was one before that, but the 2003 season I raced on there, and then obviously iRacing came out, and I jumped on and started enjoying that. So it's always been there, but I didn't follow it. I stayed away from the racetrack.
Well, NASCAR 2003 is still one of the best games out there. Still is. I love it.
It absolutely is. I 100% agree. Had some great time in that game. So our simulator, sorry, didn't mean to offend anybody.
That's right. That's right.
So when COVID hit in 2020, I got two sons and a daughter, but my two sons were here and they're older. Graduated high school and all. One of them was about to graduate, and we were sitting around. Of course, everything was shut down, nothing to do. And Sumter was racing, and I saw that they were going to have some sprint cars out there. And I said, man, I remember as a kid going to watch them up in Indiana, and it was a lot of fun. So let's go. So we loaded up and went. Well, anybody who's ever been away from racing or tried to stay away from racing knows that was a fatal mistake. I went to the racetrack.
That's right. That's right.
So it sucked me back in, and about on the ride home, we began looking for a car to buy or build. And I said, let's just build it ourselves. And so we just, believe it or not, I tell people this, and many people don't believe it, but YouTube videos and taking our time, trial and error, we bought a car and it ended up being junk, and we had to start over. And we got an 81 Camaro, and we just began to build it. Got a good cage put in it. Obviously, I wanted the safety stuff to be right, but everything else we did ourselves, and motor up, and we blew a lot of motors trying to figure out how to build them and how to do it right. But the very first race out, after we built the car, on the way to the racetrack, I told my boys, I said, I hadn't sat in a race car ever, other than simulators. I said, I just don't want to get lapped. That's my whole goal for going. Well, we messed around, and we didn't have a huge crowd. I think we had 5 cars that day, but we ended up winning the race. And I couldn't tell you how. I still to this day don't know how it happened, but I'm thankful that it did. And so there it was, and that took off from there. And we had some really, really, really good runs for a couple of years, and the competition has gotten much better over the years. And no offense to those who were there before, but these guys that are coming are putting a lot of time and effort and money into their cars, and so we've had to step our game up as well. But we've been very competitive and just thankful for it. And obviously, to get to do this with my boys was something I really enjoyed, and really enjoyed to let them see the passion and the love of the sport that I had when I was younger. So it's been a wild ride to get to this point, and you couldn't write this story. And a couple of years ago when I won the championship and we went to Myrtle Beach and I did my speech, one of the things I said was, I had a dream that this is what I always wanted to do my whole entire life. All I've ever wanted to do was drive a race car. And, God has a way of just doing things that some people say, well, God don't care about that stuff, but he does. And he cared enough about the individual moment that I had to not only let me drive a race car, but be successful. We didn't go, win the New Year's Bash or nothing yet, but in our book, this was a big deal. And so that's kind of where we are. That's how we got to where we are. And Steve, who has just been awesome, the track owner there at Florence, and I want to just stop a minute, give him a shout out. I really appreciate everything he's done for the class. I know we're going to get into that a little bit too tonight, but just him and Mike Cox being faithful to the class and sticking with it. We've had times where we didn't have but 3 or 4 cars, and he could have very easily said, we're not racing you, or we're cutting the purse, and he's not one time done that.
No.
And that's, to me, that just means a lot as a racer, as a driver. We put our time and money in these cars, and obviously we would love to have 20 cars out there, but for him to do that means a lot. So shout out to him, and I appreciate all he's done But I told him, like, I've done this online, and I wasn't joking. That's all I've ever done. Some of them guys probably be worried if they knew that beforehand. So some of them blame that on me now. That's why I tear stuff up sometimes. But hey, that's how it goes.
Hey, you say that, but man, you can look at NASCAR. William Byron, that's where he came from. This dude was running online, and they were like, "Hey, he looks like he's pretty good. Let's try him in a race car." And, well, that turned out all right. So,
yeah. I got to tell you, for the first year and a half, only thing in my mind was safety rating. I was thinking the whole time about my safety rating. So I didn't know who was keeping calculations of that, but I knew it was important.
And all you guys out there on iRacing know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And what's really funny is I kind of do the same thing. I raced go-karts coming up from time I was like 7 years old till I was about 17 or 18, and dabbled in them a little bit more. Then I quit for a long time myself. And I actually bought a race car. I was going to run Lakeview was starting up their stock V8 class. And I want to say this was probably about the same time, about COVID. Because I ended up having shoulder surgery, and it kind of put it on the back burner for a little while. And then Florence came out with the class, and I was like, I wonder if I can figure out a way to, be able to run this car at both places. And it, like I said, I had shoulder surgery, put it on the back burner, and in the meantime, we ended up finding a legend car, and so I was about to run that class myself. I was real close to it.
Right.
And in all honesty, man, I was telling Connor, I think probably last week, I was like, that is what street stock is supposed to be, in my opinion. That is, you used to, street stock, you used to go pull a car out the junkyard, find it under a tree or in a barn, stuck back in the corner of a barn somewhere, pull it out, fix whatever you can, put a roll cage in it, find you a motor. Maybe the motor that was in it was close to a race motor, and you could work on it a little bit. And that's just how it was. It wouldn't, it was not purpose-built chassis. It was not, nothing was purpose-built for racing hardly. And that is, I missed that for a long time, watching what is considered now street stock. So to see you guys out there racing those, man, that is, that's old school racing to me. Connor, that's normally on here, he puts up a lot of he's got a YouTube channel called PD Racing Classics, and he puts on a lot of races from Florence Motor Speedway back in the late 80s, early 90s, up through the early 2000s, and some from Myrtle Beach. And you see the street stocks on there, and them guys are going in the corners, and not that y'all don't have these cars hooked up a lot of times, but the guys are wheeling them. I mean, you going in there sliding them around a little bit. And driving the cars, and man, I missed that so much. So I was so glad to see that this class come back to be.
Yeah, and it's as you said earlier, as far as racing goes, it's an affordable class.
Yes,
because of the rules, and things are hard to find, but you can still find parts and pieces. And I'm sure over the years we're going to have to adjust that a little bit to try to fit the parts, because we got to run stock spindles, uppers, lowers, everything on the car. Stock suspension as far as shocks got to be in stock location. Stock brakes, we have to have our pedals have to be in stock location. So, it's very competitive. It's very, I ain't going to say cheap, but affordable to get into. Okay. And man, they're a lot of fun to drive. They're a lot of fun to drive. I got a buddy of mine, Joey Webster, who actually won the points this year. In the T&amp class. He's got a Monte Carlo, but he ran a Charger car or Challenger, whatever you want to call it, for a while. And I kind of talked him into, hey man, you need to sell that thing and buy you one of these and come play with it. And he did, and he loves it. But I remember the first time he got in and he got out and said, man, this thing ain't got no brakes. I said, yeah, they don't have brakes like them normal cars, dude. This ain't a race car. This is a stock car, and they don't stop on a dime like some of them cars. So it's a lot of fun. You do have to wheel them, and they're there ain't a whole lot of adjusting them. So, as far as screw jack, stuff like that, we don't have much of that. So you pretty much got what you got. You got to deal with tires and try to do what you can with tires to make it wheel. And but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
For sure, man. And I'm a member of the y'all's page on Facebook that when everybody was trying to get it started up, and Mike Cox over at Florence Motor Speedway, I'm gonna tell you what, he was a stickler for these rules, which is great.
Yes.
But some people are like, oh, they harp on to it. No, that's great. That's how you make it competitive and keep everybody in line. Because if not, racing to get crazy.
Exactly right. Our job as racers is to find the gray area and live in it. So absolutely.
Exactly.
He threw out the whole field one night. I don't know if you remember that. The whole field got through it, including me. So but I agree with you 100%. That's what makes the class competitive. And we don't have to put up protest money because Mike does a good job of policing it, and he's fair, and he'll normally talk to us and communicate with us as drivers. And he wants the best for the class, and he wants it to grow too. And really, this was him and Bobby Thompson kind of sat down a couple of years ago and kind of put this thing together to try to get it going. We went to the rules meeting yesterday at Dillon, and they, Braun is sounds like he is committed to get us out there. And I think really and truly, for this class to grow, I think that's really what we need. We need another track that will take us and be committed to running it. It may be 5 or 6 cars show up for a week or two, but if you're committed to running it and you have multiple tracks, you're going to give people more options to race. Right now, we race in about 6 to 7 times a year. And a real racer, that's not enough for them. They want more. So, you get some of these guys who want to race, 15, 16 times a year, and adding another track and more dates, I believe will help that and get some of those guys that are on the fence on board.
That's right. I was out there arguing. Well, not arguing with Ron. I wasn't arguing at all. We were just trying to make some points. for our we were out there later yesterday afternoon. It got cold. Good Lord, it got cold. But we were out there trying to do the same thing, trying to because we got a Charger car also, and along with the Legend car, but we were trying to get the Charger class. I kind of wanted it a little more similar to the rules at Florence, so it wouldn't be so much to change every week, but he didn't want to go that route. So I'm like, man, we got to change a lot. But we're the same way, man. We want to go race as much as we can. I like the way that they alternate weeks back and forth, and it works perfect for us guys who want to race. So I'll be so glad to see y'all over there at Dillon Motor Speedway. What do you feel about the class though, as far as 2024? You've had a couple building years in the T&L class over at Florence Motor Speedway. Like you said, it is a more affordable class. I don't want to trick anybody into thinking racing is cheap in any way, shape, or form, because it's not. But there are classes. I would recommend anybody, if you want to get into racing, look at the T&L class. Look at like you said, the Crown Vic class. If you're looking at dirt around here, you can even look into some Legend cars. You can get into a Legend car fairly reasonable in some cases. But what do you feel about the T&L class coming up here for 2024?
Well, I'm excited. I think we're on the verge of really sustaining car counts. I think the cars are out there. They've been out there for a couple of years, but just getting everybody there at the same time has been tough. And but I know we've got several cars that are being built. Ken McClary, he's working on several cars to get out there. So we'll have quite a few more. And the more cars you have, something happens. If you only got 5 cars and something happens to somebody and they can't make it one week, well, that takes it to 4 cars. So that doesn't look good. If you got 10 cars and somebody don't make it, well, that's 9. That don't look as bad. You know what I'm saying? So I think this year is going to be. I think honestly, this will be a pivotal year. it'll either make or break this year. And if Ron does commit to running us, as he says he's going to, if he commits to it, and we get a schedule of commitment that we know, hey, we're going to race at Dillon, and cars don't show up, then I don't know what else you could do to make the class work. So I think Steve, as I said, Steve, and helping us try to build the class and giving us the opportunity. And I don't hope he don't mind me saying this, but it's a pure stock class, and he pays us $400 to win. I don't know of many guys that do that. That's good money for a pure stock class. So there's no reason why it won't take off. So if it's going to do it, this is going to be the year with Ron coming on board and having 2 tracks to run and more times to race. This will be the year. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I think in my mind and what I hear, the rumors I hear, I think it's going to be a good year. I think we're going to get some good car counts and some guys that might surprise some people that are going to come out and race with us that will bring some name recognition to the class as well. So nice. I'm excited about that. And I just, the schedule's a big deal. And I just hope that commitment will come out and we'll see that. And, at the meeting, I know Ron did commit to, I think sometime in April would be our first time out there. So, man, if anybody's listening and they're a T&L driver or they have a car that they're thinking about doing it, now's the time. Get them ready and let's go out and prove this class can make it. And like I said, like you said earlier, this is a street stock class of the old days. That's the way I remember them. When my dad raced, it's where we raced. And, as racers, we always want more. Let me get 2 gray arms. Let me get this. Well, you start changing that stuff. You start moving in a direction. And I think the street stocks that are out there now, you look at the bodies that are on those cars. It's like, I don't even know if that's a Charger or a street stock or what. So
they're almost limited late models is what they are.
They are, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, and I love it now. I love street stock racing. I wish I could afford to run that, but that class is just way out there, So, this is one that you can, you're going to spend money, but you can be competitive and not.
That's right.
Not have to go buy, motors from the top-notch fellows and build chassis from the top-notch fellows. And I'm not trying to take business away from them, but the regular working blue collar man that used to be about racing, we just can't afford that kind of stuff. So
that's right.
It's our way to go out and play, and it's good racing. I mean, it is good racing. It's side by side, and you've seen it, you've watched it. We don't have many cars, but we put on a heck of a show, and we'll chat with each other every now and then. So that's always fun too.
There you go. I remember one night there wasn't like 3 or 4 cars there, or there was 4 cars there, and something happened. Somebody like off the bat, so there's 3 cars racing, and it still was probably one of the best races of the night. Y'all swapped lead back and forth. I don't know how many times, and I was like, man, that's good racing there. But if you will, kind of let everybody know, we kind of talk about it. This is a street stock of old, all this stuff. And we know that as racers, but to the casual fan kind of listening here, kind of tell everybody kind of what the main differences is between the T&L class and a street stock class.
Well, motor would be the first place I'd start. We run basically, old school 350 motors. Our camless and stuff are all lower end stuff, but suspension is the biggest difference. We can't do anything to our suspension other than stock. We run stock upper control arms, stock lowers, stock ball joints. We can't run any kind of lengthened ball joints or anything like that. We run the shocks we run can't be rebuildable shocks, so they got to be steel bodied, stock mounted shocks. So those are not expensive. I ain't gonna say they're cheap, but they're not expensive. And we have buy rules on that stuff, as every class does. But that's the biggest difference is the suspension on these cars. That you can spend a ton of money on suspension, and that's where it's at in a lot of cars is geometry. Well, in these cars, you can't really fool with that a whole lot. It's got to be stock, and so that's the biggest difference. We can't gut these cars out. Like you see some of the street stock cars are stripped out, and a lot of these cars still have trunks and pans and stuff in them that from the factory. We have to have factory front firewalls and rear firewalls and all that stuff. So there ain't a whole lot of cutting that can be done. The bodies have to be stock. We can't run aftermarket bodies whatsoever. So, a lot of that stuff that the street stocks were able to do and kind of took off from there. This goes back to what I said, old school, where you got a factory stuff. You can't go to the junkyard and get this stuff anymore because there's no 1981 Camaro in the junkyard.
That's right.
Your yard ain't gonna last long. But Speedway carries a lot of this stuff, and a lot of the circle track places out there carry these suspension parts and stuff, and they're reasonable. We run stock sway bars, stock mounts on the sway bars. Nothing fancy. They're very, very simple cars, so it don't take a whole lot of smarts to make them go. If that makes sense.
I know. I haven't paid attention enough, but I know for a while they were kind of going back and forth on rear ends. So you also have to run the a stock rear end, or what do you?
Well, we have the option. We have the option now. We can run a Ford 9-inch rear end, or you can run the factory one to come in your car, which we run a 10-bolt rear end. And at first, when the argument was first happening, old school, it's a safety issue, and
that's right.
it still could be, but this is the third year, or we've had 3 years now, and I don't know of anybody who's ever broken axle, even on 10-inch rims. So I'm not saying it can't happen, because it may happen to me the first race, but I'm just saying it hadn't happened yet. So we run a stock 10. This is the rear end that came in this car, and so obviously we swapped the gear in it, but that's it. So, but yeah, you can run a 9-inch, but there's like a weight penalty. So if you run a Chevrolet and you run a Ford, they add 50 pounds to you. If you run a stock rear end, they'd let you minus 50 pounds. So it definitely pays off to run a stock rear end.
Oh, I got you. All right. You just touched on something there, though. I want to ask about tires.
Okay.
Tires. You said 10-inch wide rim. Are y'all run on slicks now?
Yep. So we started off on F70s with Steve, and those were brand new Hoosier F70s, and they were pricey. I think we were paying $530 for a set of tires, and those tires are supposed to last us the whole year. But what we found is that they didn't. They would last about 2-3 races, and there was a big fall off. So if you bought brand new tires, you were going to be fast. And that game, that's not one that we want to get into in this class.
That's right.
So that kind of put us in a bind. And Steve was having a hard time at that time. That was the tire shortage and all. And so he was having a hard time getting those tires. So we were having to rethink it and what we were going to do and how he was going to make it work. And that really killed the class for a little while, because we didn't know from week to week what we were going to be running. If we were going to get tires, people would come out there and he had no tires. So that kind of hurt it for a little while. And then we kind of all came together, and Mike Cox said, hey, what do y'all think about running 10-inch scuffs on 8-inch rims? So we tried that, and, it just wasn't the safest thing, in my opinion, with those tires on 8-inch rim. They worked. We raced several races with them, but getting them things to beat on 8-inch rim is
scary.
You better have your prayer life right when you problem.
That's right.
So we finally just said, look, we're going to run 10-inch tires. Just let us run 10-inch rims. I mean, it's not that much difference. So that's where we ended up. And I think he charges us $30 a tire or something like that for the scuffs.
Can't do that.
It's affordable. No, and really and truly, you could get several races out of left sides and just replace your rights and be fine. I've done that a couple of times. So and again, he's paying $400 to win the race, so that's a good purse. And that don't kill you to buy them tires. So that was good. So the big argument that was happening was, Ron, who has a stockpile of 8-inch tires that we had run in the past, and they're good tires. He has those, but Steve can't get any of those or whatever. So the biggest thing I was saying, and most of the guys were saying, we just don't want to swap from one track to the next. We don't have to carry 8-inch rims and 10-inch rims.
I get that.
A different tire is fine, but the same size. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think they've all agreed now to go to these 10s. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I would love to be on 8-inch tires. My car works really well on them.
Well, that's what I was about to ask you, and it's not even for the purpose of they performing better. Obviously, a 10-inch tire is going to be a little faster. I don't know. I think I just miss some of the nostalgia of an 8-inch tire out there racing.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And if they could get them, I think it would be worth doing. But it's just so hard, as you know, even with the legend cars. I know y'all having a fit getting them things too. So
that's what we talked about literally for, I don't know, probably almost an hour yesterday out there with the legend car rules meeting, was about tires, because it's still a tough game for us right now. There's tires available. Just to throw ours in there for a minute, but there's tires available. But the problem is with legend cars, there's these big setup shops now, and they got a bunch of drivers driving for them. Well, when them tires come available, those setup shops are the iNext suppliers. So where do the tires go? They go straight to their drivers. So that's what we're trying to figure out ourselves. Even over at that we were talking about yesterday, is trying to figure out a way where we're not just who's got the newest tires out here. Which fortunately, we got racetrack promoters around here that like to listen, that will listen anyway, and try to figure something out, and that's what we were doing yesterday ourselves. So I'm with you on that, buddy. I'm glad they just like you said, Ron was willing to listen to that, and that'll definitely work out better for y'all running same tires or same size tires at both tracks. So I'm glad.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, they're cost effective, because if you got to buy 8-inch rims, them things ain't cheap. So I think anything we can do in this class to make it affordable and cost effective, let's do it. I'm all for it. So.
I hear you there. I'm just saying, hey, if anybody's got an open seat any weekend, just tell them, throw my name in there. Throw my name in there. I'd love to drive one.
Yeah. I'm telling you, get in one, you may never get out of it.
I may not.
So it takes you. Obviously, I haven't had the experience to drive other cars, but I've listened and learned and heard from a lot of people, and I know these things are a handful, but man, they're fun. They're a lot of fun. So,
I want to go back.
They were more fun on the 8-inch tires. I'll say that they were more fun and more fun on those. So,
I want to go back to something you were talking about there at the first, though. Talking about iRacing, NASCAR 2003 and iRacing and all that fun stuff. Obviously, you had never been in a race car, driven one, raced a car anyway. Before that, do you feel, as someone who had never raced anything, coming from a iRacing background or simulation racing background, that you kind of were a little bit ahead of the curve, the learning curve of the car when you got in it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, I do got to back up a little bit, because I did race go-karts for a while when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
My dad used to own the Harleyville racetrack years ago. So I guess that was probably mid-'80s or so, but it wasn't long, year or two. But yes, absolutely. Coming from iRacing, it's not exact, but it's very the awareness. Even your hand-eye coordination stuff, that's what I was telling my sons, is that's where I can tell the biggest difference is just I'm an older guy now. I'm 48. So according to, race things today, I'm way past my prime. These kids now, 12, 13, getting in these things, and just unbelievable what they're doing. But I contribute that back to just what we're talking about. I think these kids are getting so tuned in with hand-eye coordination, and racing is very much a sport. It ain't just turning left and mashing gas. It is a hand-eye coordination sport, and that's why some of the greatest in the world have that reaction time and that speed of their hands and their eyes and all that stuff, that they can do that, and the feel that they have. The biggest thing, I don't have a simulator to move, so I can't attest to what those feel like, but that's the biggest difference to me. Was the learning curve, was the seat of my pants. Learning, okay, what my eyes is saying is not what my butt is feeling, if that makes sense.
Perfect sense.
Yeah, so that took a little adjusting. But yeah, it helped me greatly. I attribute the success that I've had to that, to be able to do this. Obviously this ain't a top notch car, nothing, but we're still racing, and we're around people, and so that racecraft is something. I hear Dale Jr. talk about that all the time. That racecraft, and that's something that I think came from my racing in me that was able to carry over. Being able to see the peripheral things and being able to feel them cars next to you and stuff like that, and being able to do that, I believe, comes from iRacing. Absolutely.
Well, cool, man. We actually got a question for you here on the Facebook chat here. My good buddy,
you filter them questions.
What's that?
Do you filter them questions?
We try to, but this was a good one.
All right.
My good buddy Brian Blackwell said he's got a car, and he does. He's got a car sitting over there. He wants to know. He's thinking about getting it in the T&L class there. He wants to know where he can find the rules at.
All right, so there's a set of rules on the Florence Motor Speedway. If you go on their website, click the little hamburger thing at the top there, and that's a little drop-down menu. If you go to Race Info and then scroll down to Thunder and Lightning, click on that. That's the rules right there, and I would highly suggest if you have any questions, because there is no gray area with Mike Cox. If you have any questions, give him a call. He is very helpful and willing to talk to you and help you. So, yeah, that's where you can find those rules. And I think I'm hopeful. Ron does have a set of rules on his website, on Dillon's as well. It's under I think it's called Stock V8 or something like that. But if you look on there, you can see those rules as well. But I would hold off on those. I don't know if he's adjusted those or not. I think he's going to be getting with Mike, and him and Mike's going to work together to try to make these cars the same at both tracks, which I think would be a great thing for both of those tracks. So.
For sure. Well, man, I want to before we let you go here, let everybody know who you got to thank, who's helping you out on that car, man.
Yeah, man. So I got Edie's Waste. I appreciate you letting me do this. Edie's Waste is all your trash needs down in the Low Country. They can take care of you. You can look them up on Facebook. On my Facebook, they're on there as well. Look them up as well. We got Reasonable Air. Of course, we don't need air conditioning today, but they also do heat, so you can check them out, and they're on my Facebook page as well. We got the Barton Group, who just came on board with us this year. They're going to be helping us out this year as partners. They have facilities here in the Low Country and also in Florence area, so excited about getting them on board. They do engineering and structural builds and things, so check them out. And then Mark Supercenter is a friend of mine who owns a shop down here in the Low Country. He helps me out a lot. And of course, I got to stop for a minute because there's one major person that I got to thank, and that's my wife. She allows me to do this, as all of you know. Without that approval, we don't race. So I appreciate her letting me do this, and my dad, who is still with me, and he comes out here in this garage and helps me every day. And I couldn't do it without him as well. So thankful for all those that helped me out and have gotten me this far, and hopefully we'll have many more years to enjoy. Just enjoy this family that we call racing.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Well, man, I sure appreciate you jumping on here with us today and talking about some racing and all the good stuff. And man, best of luck to you all 2024 and so on. And man, I'll be seeing you soon at the track for sure, buddy.
Sounds good, man. Thank you for having me on. Thanks for promoting the class. And man, if anybody's out there just on the fence, build it. Come on, come play with us. We need some cars, and I really hope this class takes off this year. Thank you so much, Dave, for having me on, buddy.
No problem. We appreciate you, man.
All right, y'all have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that was a good one there for Mr. Sam Knight. You can catch him racing at Florence Motor Speedway and at Dillon Motor Speedway this year in the T&L class, Thunder and Lightning class. Like I said, that is the epitome of old school racing still at the track. So y'all get out there and come to the track and watch it. You'll have a blast. And like he said, if you're on the fence about, you're thinking, man, I want to build a car, I want to buy a car, I'm telling you, if you want to just taste the water, stick your toe in the water, just test it out. That's the class to do it in. And it's going to be ultra competitive for sure. But it's gonna be a fun one, and it's gonna put that competitive desire in you that you can't get away from. So you won't be able to get away from the racetrack. So but we sure appreciate Mr. Sam Knight coming on here and hanging out with us tonight for sure. And like I said, best of luck to him in 2024. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to thank all of our help that helps us out here on the show every week. SRI Performance, guys. Head over to SRI Performance. You're getting them cars ready. Coming up races. We got the Icebreaker coming up at Florence Motor Speedway here really soon, just in a few weeks. Head over to SRI Performance. Get everything you need for your race car to make it fast, make it look good. Safety products, kind of whatever you need. They are your one-stop shop for all things racing. As I like to say, they're Walmart for racers. Everything for a race car, everything for the driver. You can get anything from suits to helmets, everything in between. Get on our website. Get that cart filled up. Go to checkout. Put in promo code CBONE10. That's C as in
chicken.
BONE 10. Get yourself 10% off there at time of checkout. Also, same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, guys, sister company to SRI Performance. Actually, they were kind of the parent company. It kind of started it off for them, actually. That's where Greg Fernelli started. We need to get Greg Fernelli on here real soon before racing season gets kicked off. I need to get him on here. But anyway, head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. I know a lot of you, especially dirt guys, it's time to make them cars look really good coming here into the 2024 season. If you haven't already, I've seen some cars out there already look really good. It's time to hammer down on them, make them look good, get them ready, get them structurally sound for the season, get them safe. Everything you need, all the materials you will ever need over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Also, guys, one of the best things I can tell you to buy for your race car is a set of Profab headers. Go to Profab Headers and Exhaust, guys. Give it our buddy Andy. Tell him we sent you over there. They are quality that wins, and that is because that is 100% true. Shout out to Paisley Lawson over there. Our buddy Andy helps. She's got a Bandolero. She finished 5th over at the Winter Heat in Charlotte this past weekend, so good job, Paisley. But yeah, guys, head over to Profab Headers and Exhaust, and they'll get you set up. Any application you got, they probably got something for you. So head over to Profab Headers and Exhaust. Also, Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Guys, anything you need from anywhere from a crate motor to a super motor, anything in between, Earl Ramey's got you. So head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines and see what he's got. Talk to him. Get some time on that chassis dyno after you get that horsepower under the hood, because you'll need it. You'll definitely need it. So head over there, tell him we sent you. All right. What you think?
Cold. Should have worn my jacket.
I told you that. It's 30-some degrees outside. We got heater golden, but that's not the best heater in the world. It works all right, but it's not the best one.
It's mainly for cooling.
Yeah, it's mainly for cooling. It cools it down really good in here.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. So you've got a busy week at school.
Yeah, Monday's the only chill day before after school, and then quiz also.
Well, we've got about a month, a little over a month, about a month and a few days. We'll be starting racing ourselves.
Ah,
So,
that'll be fun.
you ready for another year of spotting
Oh yeah,
race cars?
oh yeah.
I want to know something. I don't see you as the type, really, but do you talk to other spotters when you're up there?
Spotters I know, sometimes I will. Like a very young man.
Very young.
Yeah, around 60 or something. And he's Connors. He knows Connor, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Not his
Pete?
dad. Yeah, Pete.
Mr. Pete.
Yeah, Mr. Pete. Yeah, him. And he spots for him. I'll sometimes talk to him.
He tell me to move.
Yeah.
Tell David to move over. Okay.
But other than that, not really.
I was just wondering.
No.
I didn't know if y'all like yell at each other or anything.
Oh yeah, I got into this big fight over like 6 months ago. His race or his drivers got into me.
Yeah. No, I was just wondering. I know sometimes, like in the late model races, it can get kind of wild up on the spotter stand.
Yeah, late models they can, but not legends normally. It's normally just.
I don't think half of them got spotters.
No, there's not many spotters up there. That's why there were so many wrecks.
That's probably right. They'd be better off if they did.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Also, want to thank our good friends at Dixie Made. Dixie Made guys, head over to Dixie Made right here in Florence, South Carolina, right by the flea market here. Some of the best looking apparel you can find just in general. It's got all the cool brands that all the cool kids want.
I'm one of those cool kids.
I think so. You got a Drake jacket.
Oh yeah, I love Drake jackets.
They have over there.
I almost don't I had to take it off because I didn't think it'd be so cold, but kind of want it now.
It's not cold. It's 62 degrees in here. It's wonderful.
That's too cold for me. If it's not in the 80s, I don't want to be out.
What's up there, Thomas?
But
yeah, head over to Dixie Made. The Southern Fried Cotton, like I said, Drake, Axis Waterfowl, which is one of our local brands here. I actually know the owner of the brand. Also, any I'm trying to think of some other brands. There's so many brands that they have over there. They're just insane. Southern Fried Cotton, did I say them? Simply Southern, which is one that I think every woman in South Carolina has to have 17 shirts of. Mm-hmm. They remind me of the old, you don't remember this, but when I was in high school, there was these shirts called Dixie Outfitters.
Way back in the day.
And they were kind of every guy in high school had to have every one of their t-shirts. And I had a pile of them myself, so it's kind of the same thing. But anyway, guys, head over to Dixie Made. Tell them we sent you over there. Also, Rev Max Racing Apparel, guys. Rev Max Racing Apparel. If you're in the market for a new suit, I don't care if you're in the big car stuff. If we need our SFI rating, 2-layered or multi-layered suits, head over to Rev Max Racing Apparel. Or if you're in the karting game and you just need a single layer, non-SFI, they got you covered. So head over to Rev Max Racing Apparel and they'll hook you up. Also, Fresh Chef. If you're in the Race City area of North Carolina, head over to Fresh Chef. If Cornelius, Mooresville, Concord, there's so many different locations. Just stop at a Fresh Chef up there, guys. Some of the best food you'll ever eat. I've had the ribeye. I've had the shrimp and grits. I've had quite a few different things from there, and it is some of the best food I've ever had. So y'all head over to Fresh Chef, and yeah, tell them we sent you there too. Whenever you walk in all these places, just tell them we sent you. Tell them you got sent by Chicken Bone Alley. Also, guys, MPM. If you are in the game, want to move up in this crazy world of racing we're in, and you want to, if you're looking to hit at that level of NASCAR, if you're looking to hit at that level of Lucas Oil or World of Outlaws, you got to have a good marketing partner behind you that knows the game. And Tanya knows the game. So y'all head over to marketwithmpm.com. She's one of the best in the business. She'll put your face in front of the other faces that you need to be in front of. You got to do that for sure. Put you in front of sponsors and everything else that you need. So y'all head to marketwithmpm.com. Tell her we sent you. All right. So we got a few weeks, like I said, and we'll have the icebreaker at Florence Motor Speedway. There's this guy I heard was coming to run it. His name's Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I don't think I've heard of him before.
A couple people have. He's all right. He's run, a few late model races, and pretty much all of them have been at Florence, other than North Wilkesboro, here lately in the past couple of years. So, y'all be ready for that. It was a great show last year. Weather kind of had it crazy, but he's coming back over there. There'll be other drivers here shortly coming out. I want to get somebody from Florence Motor Speedway on. Let's talk about a race coming up, hopefully here soon. But it's about to get kicked off real quick, a lot faster than probably what we want it to. So, anyway, what else you got?
I don't think I got anything else, honestly.
You don't think you got anything?
No,
I don't think I got much either. Like I said, we didn't have a whole lot today. There was the Sunshine Nationals.
Yeah.
Down at Volusia. Had quite a few friends go run that. SRI sponsored Brock Pinker's Bam Bam. Went down there and won one of the Crate Racing USA features. On Friday night, I think it was Friday. Our good friend Derek McGrew Jr. was down there racing. Didn't have the best week, but he's new in his late model game, so he's learning a lot. We'll get him on here soon, talk about it. So, but anyway, y'all be checking it out. But anyway, guys, what you over thinking?
Anyway, Love Shack, baby.
Love Shack.
Yeah, Love Shack. It's just that one part of the song. And the bounce song where like you dance with the feet when they're not on the ground. I was singing that earlier, and when I just zoned out. So,
jeez,
I really want to learn how to dance to that.
I think you need to do that. What's it called? The hover.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Though.
That's the hover thing you're talking about. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I feel like it's photoshopped. It's just.
It looks like it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us tonight. Thank you, Landon, for coming on.
It was my pleasure, honestly. Special guest right here.
Jeez. He's not into himself at all. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all, and we will be catching y'all next time.
See ya.